Just a update on the Linux, whatever Mint crap. Anyway, so yeah, I have different things to complain about, but I guess I'll deal with the hard drive space problem. Don't know how to title the video, just in case somebody else has the same problem, but I guess I'll have to come up with some kind of way to say it. So a guy called Perspective Facts actually put a comment up that's almost exactly what I did. Um, you have to change this bash to some other word. I have it on a file here, so dash, bin dash works better than bash. Anyway, well, I might as well leave the file up because it's so simple. So yeah, you just have to type in this one line, and it'll do the job. So you just make you have to have the two lines, the number sign, exclamation point, slash bin slash dash, and then this little super user rm, delete everything. And I just used a wildcard on system d dash private, and I just put this echo in here just so when I ran the script, not automatically, I could actually see it, that it did the deleting. And so it deletes the 4 directories and the 4 files. So it's like 8 deletions altogether. But anyway, and so once you make this little file, you just call it anything. I call it kill SB, and that's it. And then you can simply, mostly, critters. Anyway, you can't live here. Well, I can't live here. I'm getting kicked out too. Anyway, so what's there? Yeah, so you have this startup applications, and you see I have it placed in there. So you just add, and then you add the gives you the choice to add something or other, custom command. You choose that, and just kind of have it locate the file, pop it in there. I have it delayed a little bit from opening immediately, and it silently does the job every time the computer boots. So now I don't have to worry about forgetting, and it's working, and so far so good. Now the other problem is just bizarre, I think, is how particular these partitions are. It's really making me crazy. You can move the partitions around, you save a copy, just save a partition to another hard drive. But if you don't unplug the hard drive, by accident forget or something, the computer will boot to the copy, the external copy. This is, usually your USB is the first boot device. So it'll end up booting on the USB on that computer. And then when you unplug that and then later try to boot to your other hard drive, things can get all fucked up. So I was getting all kinds of, it wouldn't boot at all. It was just coming up with some sort of the session can't identify, and it was going to make a new session, but it doesn't, just get a black screen, doesn't do anything. So I had to recopy the copy back to the original, and that fixed the problem. So at least that was good. And then the other problem was going on was the screensaver wouldn't turn on. So, and I sort of needed it for this monitor because it's an older LCD version, and they can burn in a little bit, so you really do want the screensaver to work. I found out that the screensaver is actually software, extra software, and so that was loaded. So I unloaded it and then reloaded it, but that killed the system settings thing, so I had to reboot. But anyway, it seems to have been resolved now, so that seems to work. Alright, so the other thing was the camera issue, and this GUVC thing is really quite a good, it's a nice program. You can run both cameras, 3 cameras, whatever, if you got enough computer for it. Now the weird thing it's doing now is that I have to start it in really low resolution, like 320 by 240, or it can't find the camera. And then I can boost up the resolution. And then I have to do that little fix where you go to the image controls, and you have to do this exposure manual mode thing, and then you can get the frame rate up to 15 frames a second, which is adequate. I mean, your computer might do much better, but I'm just saying you can get the frame rate to increase dramatically. If I don't make this change, I get 5 frames per second. So it's a real big improvement. But otherwise, I mean, everything it is kind of nice. It's kind of clean. I don't like the menus much, but I guess they can be changed. I still haven't found a way to put them on the context menu, because that would be a nice place to have them, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. The other thing I want to do is be able to switch out so I have to write a file that basically deletes the Mozilla folder and then reinstalls the saved version, so I can switch between my 2 accounts and not have to sign in or do any of that rubbish. Just have a different version of the browser that's for each account. And likewise the email and other things like that. I'd like to just rename the files automatically, and by hitting a button, so it's more of that bashing stuff. And it's not lots of, like I said, lots of good features, lots of stuff works well. So I can't complain. I mean, it's doing this video. I can pause it, which is really it's kind of not a regular feature, being able to pause. You see, it's nice. And then the whole transparent thing is very nice. I should be able to do drawings over other people's videos with this kind of thing, I think. Oh, we have a problem of some kind. Problem loading. Check name and capitalization of the typing area. See if file was moved, renamed, or deleted. Try again. Wonder what the hell that is. I guess I should look and see what it is. Yeah, that would be the thing to do. Problem loading page. Oh, that's something I loaded before. I get it. Okay. That was off the other hard drive. When I was moving files. So that's kind of funny that it remembers that. But doesn't remember other things that are kind of important. So anyway. Quite good. So, I got to get rid of some more of these idiots in my subscriptions. I mean, it was kind of nice having subscriptions that would actually be new ones now and then, but these people are just such idiots. I mean, these stupid debunking flat earthers are just so annoying. And these grad school putz, he's kind of irritating. I mean, this just really isn't good stuff. The weird one is this Tin Man guy is kind of a weird little fellow. What the hell did he do with this video? He had a new video. Maybe this is old. Needs updating maybe. There we go. So he has a nonsense pulse motor coil conformation. That doesn't even make any sense. Nonsense pulse motor. Anyway, he's messing with something that's this free energy kind of crap, where somehow he puts less energy in and he gets more energy out. And just come on. I mean, capacitors are storage devices, coils are storage devices. They're all batteries essentially. So he's putting pulses in. He's basically just charging batteries, and then he's saying, "Look, there's more energy coming out that's going in." Well, of course, there's more coming out than that went in. You charged up batteries. Can't last forever though, right? There's a point where you'll wear the batteries down. I mean, that is, you'll pull the energy out of the coils again, and that thing will slow down eventually. But anyway, something like that anyway will happen. Just these free energy people are just pathetic in a way. And this guy, I sort of had Tin Man power. He was he didn't seem like a complete nutter, but this seems pretty nutter. So, I don't know if there's anything else. Let's see if there were any other comments that needed addressing on the subject of Linux-like stuff. So this guy says, I had a similar problem with hard drive space filling up with many, many gigabytes, resulting in a huge log file, and I used something like the above suggestion, which worked. Okay. something like it anyway, right? So it is kind of funny that I actually went looking for the bat file variety of Linux, and this is the bat file variety. It's this bin bash thing, and it's the similar kind of coding. So I just have to learn a little bit of, how to rename a file. But it's very dangerous. You make you make a little mistake and your hard drive's wiped. So you do have to be a little careful. Very careful. Not a little careful. You really have to be a lot careful. So let's see if there's anybody else. Okay, yeah, we already did this. I think if I accept my comments, yeah, we already did that. Fairly certain we already did that. Yeah. Okay. So so that's it, I think. So yeah, I don't. You could see the command, so I don't really need to write it anywhere, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. I didn't think at first, I didn't remember I had to do this, get it back to the right directory to get to the right folder, and then, So, but I like the idea that I could just wipe out anything with a, use the wildcard symbol and, just, and get rid of rubbish that way. So anyway, it should be a useful, I can just put in whatever I want in this file and it'll do it before the system boots. Well, after the system boots, which is kind of nice. So anyway, yeah, it should be it. I guess I could make it bigger. I should probably just use the control keys, right? Control plus it up. And then make it bigger. Yeah. There it is. See. Okay. Anyway, so I think that's it. There's no other news, I don't think. Nothing else interesting, I don't believe. So, like I said, I like the new version. And so far, it's okay-ish. But yeah, certain things you just can't do. You gotta, make sure you never have the external hard drive plugged in when you reboot. If it has another version of Linux on it that's a derivative of a previous version. Because, man, does it fuck things up. And such. I thought there was something else I wanted to go into, but I guess I don't have to do that. So yeah, I just use gparted to, you have to be in another version of Linux. So you can just use the startup, little SD card or whatever you have, the loading version. You can just use that because it has gparted on it, and then you can just copy the partition from one drive to the other, and it's fairly efficient. Alright, so that's enough now, I think. So yeah, so till the next time and such.